Okay, we're going to do a problem for the Practice and Skills workbook. It's page 103, problem number 9. Order each group of numbers from least to greatest. And we have square root of 8, 2, and then the square root of 7 over 2. Okay, so what we have to do first is let's take a look at our numbers. We have 2 and square root of 8. So let's get an idea what that square root of 8 is about. If we think about perfect squares, so I'm going to make a list of some perfect squares to help us out here. 1, 4, 3 squared is 9. That's, we could continue on, but we don't need to because our 8 is going to be between the 4 and the 9. So our 8 would appear over here. And what that tells us is our answer for the square root of 8 would be somewhere between a 2 and a 3. We don't know the exact number, but we know it's going to be between 2 and 3. It won't. One thing we got to note is it is not going to include the number 2. For that to be true, then it would have to be the square root of 4. So it won't include that one. So we're going to keep that in mind because that'll help us out. Okay, we still have this 2 here. And we have the square root of 7. So 7 is also going to be between that, the 4 and the 9. And it's going to be between the 2 and the 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the between the 2 and the 3, just like I did. And that represents the square root of 7, which is on the top. And then on the bottom, you divide that by 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of clarify this one a little bit. And I'm going to do that by dividing the numbers. So here I've got a 2. 2 divided by 2 would get us 1. And 3 divided by 2 will get us a 1.5. Okay, so what that says is if I actually went ahead and I simplified this and I figured out what the square root of 7 was divided by 2, we're going to get some kind of number between 1 and 1.5. Okay, so now our next task is just to go ahead and put it in order according to what we have here. So if we go ahead and take a look at it, it looks like this is going to be the smallest number, be the 1 to 1.5. So I'm going to write down 1 to 1.5. Our next number would be this 2. And the reason it's the 2 compared to the 2 and 3 is because the 2 goes ahead and what it has the exact value of 2. This is between the 2 and the 3. So our next one's going to be the 2, and then the last one will be the 2 and 3. Now, not quite done with the problem. What we have to do to finish up that problem is we need to change it back to the original problem. So we got to change it back to these original units that we have here. So we have between 1 and 1.5. Remember that's this last column right here. So that's going to be the square root of 7 over 2. Okay, the 2 you don't have to change because it's the same thing throughout. And then the very last one is between the 2 and the 3, and we know 2 and 3 is the square root of 8. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and circle that. And that's putting it in order from least